Your, your voice is not audible. Your voice is not.
Is it audible now?
Yeah.
Myself, Saurabh Sandalia. I'm in charge of communication and academics at My Rehab Academy.
No, still not audible. Still not audible.
Okay, I'll reconnect it. Just a minute. Yeah, myself, Saurabh Sandalia. I am in charge of academics and communication at My Rehab Academy. This evening, on Sunday, we are here to learn about immunity boosting diet. But before that, I'll explain about My Rehab Academy and my team. My Rehab Academy is a platform where we connect the best of instructors in the physical therapy, occupational therapy, and various medical fields to the aspiring graduates, professionals working in the field. This is basically for the physical therapy, no doubt in it, but considering the need and seeing the need in the society, we have decided to go a few steps ahead and to start for many more other field of healthcare. In that series only, now we have started our free webinar almost every month on various burning topics. Likewise, today we are doing for the immunity. Early morning we had on therapeutic yoga, not just a simple yoga, therapeutic yoga, that too for all the ages. Yesterday we had on the ergonomics for the IT professionals working from home. Today, Manjunath KM sir will be giving you insight about diet. Likewise, in month July on 12th, from the renowned psychiatrist, we are going to present webinar over the topic how to deal with the how to deal with the depression cases, because we have understood, we have acknowledged that even though on the social media we have thousands and more followers, but still a person is alone from within. That's the reason we are seeing the suicidal cases and those kind of attitudes more in the even whom we feel they are successful. So we thought to bring them those kind of topic in on our platform, so that many more physical therapists as well as professionals from other fields also can be benefited. So now, not just physical therapy, we started reaching to the normal public. So very soon we are going to have almost bi-weekly bi-weekly free classes for the common public over the lifestyle disorder. Today's speaker, Manjunath KM sir, is one of the diet expert. His diet goes according to the condition of the patient. It's not just a simple diet programming. He programs diet according to the need, according to the like what kind of progression and priorities patient have. So I welcome you, Manjunath KM sir. Please come. I hope you are connected. Yeah, thank you so much on panel. And today, please enlighten all of us with your vast knowledge, as well as the I will have more interaction today after your class. So question and answer session will be there. I'll be in the mute. Anytime, any need, please let me know. I'm there all the time. Thank you, CEO sir, for giving me opportunity to have inaugural speech.
Thank you, Mr. Saurabh. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, good evening to all. Is my voice audible?
Yes, a little very more. Good. If you can, little more. Yeah.
Maybe you can bring the gadget a little closer.
Yeah, a little closer.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
so now is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine. So good afternoon to all. Well, people are still logging in, so it's already time so that we can start off. To start with, yeah, good afternoon to all. So today we'll be starting, or we'll be having this session or this event, especially on immunity. First thing, I would like to thank My Rehab Academy, to organize this event, especially during this situation or this time, wherein most of us are confused on what to do or what to have, especially in terms of food. So first of all, thanks a lot. I'd also like to thank Mr. Saurabh for giving me this opportunity, and also to Dr. Sumanjit for giving me this platform to speak about today's session. Right? To start with, yeah. To start with, let me just give my introduction initially. Most of them know my name. I'm Manjunath. I'm a certified nutritionist, and I practice in South Bangalore at Bannerghatta Road. Coming on to my previous experiences and my past experiences, I used to work for Healthify Me earlier for their corporate account. And currently I'm also working for an organization called Right Living, wherein we visit a lot of corporates and help the current techies to lead a really good life. Along with this, I also practice and have a few association with a couple of gyms here in South Bangalore. To start and not make any more delays, so let's start with today's session. A lot of notes also has been prepared from my end, which I'll be sharing with you. And it will be a really good information sharing session today. To start with, let's start and understand what immunity or immune system is.
So one poll has to be.
Right.
So we'll do a poll now. Just want to know, just 1 second. Yeah, so everyone can see one slide there. So just click the things and you can go ahead. You have another 50 seconds. So I'm closing the poll. Manjunath sir, you can see the result, how many are from Jain community.
Yes.
And from South India community is 38%.
Right.
North India is 29. So almost quite similar, like quite nearer to each community, you can see. So I think veg and non-veg are 50-50%.
Right. So it's exactly 50-50.
Yes. Okay. So you'll get an idea so that you can know.
Right.
So I'm stopping the things. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So to start with, let's understand what is immunity or the immune system. Why is that human beings, especially we, have immunity or immune system? What it does? What are the functionalities of immune system? And we'll also be trying to understand, what are the signs that the body shows once the immune system is weakened. How does the immune system weaken? That is, what are the lifestyle factors, and also what are the lifestyle factors that can be changed so that we can make sure that our immune system works at its optimal level. To start with, immunity is nothing but the body's self-defense mechanism. Well, most of us know this, that the immune system is the body's self-defense mechanism, but what it does. So the immune system protects us from harmful pathogens and diseases, and also from infections. Its overall function is to prevent or limit the infection which is caused from external. What is the immune system made up of? Let's try to understand this. So the immune system is made up of organs, tissues, cells, and molecules. Now, what are the functions of immune system? Well, the immune system's functionality is to first identify the threat, then mount attack on it, then eliminate the pathogens, and remember the offender in case you encounter it again. this is one of the very, very important aspect of the immune system, that it has memory also. Now, let's understand a little more deeper about our immune system. Our immune system is like the military, and it has basically 3 layers, right? And basically the immune system is a complex network of cells, proteins that defends the body against infections. While functioning at its optimal level, the immune system identifies and attacks a varieties of threats like bacteria, parasites, and viruses. Well, there are 3 different types of immunities. First is the barrier immunity. Let's understand what is barrier immunity and the functionality of barrier immunity. Well, a simple or a very good example can be given about barrier immunity is the skin. Yes, the skin is the largest organ of the human body. So what it does? So it not only does it provides the physical barrier, but it also prevents the pathogens such as bacteria, virus, and other microorganisms that cause diseases. Bacteria that enter the body, it also acts as the chemical and biological barriers. For example, and the beauty of our skin is that the skin also has immune cells which protects microbes and bacteria from entering our body. So similar types of barrier immunity is provided on many other surfaces in the human body. It including the lining of our respiratory system, the gastrointestinal system, the genitourinary system, and the surface lining of our nose. A very good example is also the tears, which comes from our eyes. Yes, tears is also a form of barrier immunity. Most of us might have gone through this. Whenever something hits our eyes, it may be a small dust particles. Many of us face or see that immediately the tears comes out. Well, that is the body's self-defense mechanism. So, coming on to the next type, the next phase or the next is the innate immunity. So what does innate immunity does, right? So whenever any microorganism passes the barrier immunity, the next immunity which it has to encounter is the innate immunity. So the innate immunity is made up of in and nate. In means inside, and nate means it is born. So it's something with which we are born. So it is present from the day we are born, and it is very, very older in evolution. And basically it is a non-specific, which means the moment it identifies any pathogens, it immediately destroys it. And the innate immunity does not have any kind of memory. So whatever action it takes, it will be the same with all types of infections, bacterial and viral infections. So coming on to the third part is our adaptive immunity. Well, adaptive immunity is also called as acquired immunity. So acquired immunity, it develops in response to any foreign substances. For example, infections upon subsequent exposure to same pathogens. There is an amplified response from adaptive immune system and sending multiple types of antibodies that are specific to the pathogen only, which means the adaptive immunity, whenever any pathogens or infection affects human beings, the major function is to destroy it. And it also has the memory. So for example, the next time if any infection occurs, the same infection, the adaptive immunity has memories, and it will be only releasing those antibodies to fight that kind of infection. So this is basically the 3 types of immunities what we have. So next, let's understand what are the different reasons or the signs for a weak immune system. Well, anybody who are feeling or who fall sick nowadays, we may see lots of children and also old age peoples wherein they fall sick frequently. Well, in case frequent colds or infection is also a sign of weak immune system. Yes, sometimes each and every, even a healthy person falls sick. We accept that. But that is how the body's natural immune system works. And it also becomes or performs at an optimal level. So the next sign is anemia or low platelet count. Any person who are having or who are facing the challenge of anemia, such as low count of red blood cells, will also have a very, very weak immune system. People who also face fatigue or weakness is also have a sign of weak immune system. So extreme exhaustion is also a sign of weak immune system. Digestive problems such as nausea and diarrhea and also loss of appetite is also a reason for a weak immune system. Autoimmune disease is also a sign of a very weak immune system. So these are the signs of a weak immune system. So now what can be done from our end? We can have probably a poll to understand these are the 6 signs. So we can have a small poll and try to understand with people who are facing any of these issues.
Yeah, please in the chat options, please write down if you are suffering from anything.
Yeah, so people can type in the chat in case if anybody are going through any of these issues.
You can write in the chat box like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever the number you have. Some questions are coming. You can see in the chat box, Manju sir.
Okay. Well, let me just see. So 1, 3, 3, 3, I think most of them. Okay. So 3 is considered as most of them are facing the challenge is fatigue and weakness. Right? Okay, good. Fine. So let's understand and move ahead on how do we damage our immunity or immune system. So these are the 7 factors which basically harm our immunity or immune system. To start with, it's alcohol. Consumption of alcohol in moderate levels is considered to be good, but excess of consumption of alcohol is what really harms the human system. Let's understand from the cellular point of level, how does excess consumption of alcohol will destroy or bring down our immunity levels. So alcohol, what it does, or excess alcohol reduces the production of white blood cells, and it also slows down the digestive activity and lowers the liver's work, and also reduces the ability to store vitamins. So this is what the excess consumption of alcohol does to the human body. So once the ability to store nutrients in the liver is compromised, human body or the immune system gets weakened. All these factors, especially the excess consumption of alcohol, contributes to a very, very low or poor immunity in alcoholics. Hence, consumption of alcohol only in moderate level is beneficial. The next is dehydration. Dehydration is nothing but inadequate intake of liquid consumption or water. 70 to 75% of human body is made up of water. And most of us know how much water to consume is a big question with everybody. Well, a simple calculation can be done. We calculate in terms of weight. So whatever your weight is divided by 60 ml per body kilo weight gives you the desired amount of water consumption. So for example, if a person is weighing around 70 kilos, so it comes to close to around 3.5 to 4 liters of water. It also changes in terms of geographical location. For a place such as Bangalore, excess consumption of water is also not required. So we need to know the right amount of water to be consumed per day per person, as each and every body part composition is different. So the next point is lack of sleep. Poor sleep habits also lower the immune system and reduces the white blood cell that fight germs. So the white blood cells are the major defense which help us or our immune system to stay strong. Lack of sleep will also hinder their performance. Due to the poor sleep, body releases less cytokines that help our body to fight infection or diseases. Hence, lack of sleep also releases certain hormones which the human body cannot accept. For example, it may also generate lots of cortisol hormone, which is not at all beneficial to the human system. And lack of sleep also creates a lot of inflammation in the human body. So it's only sleep wherein the human body will be able to repair and recover itself. If we are not sleeping, then the human body cannot repair and recover itself for the next day's performance. Hence, lack of sleep is also a major factor to damage our immune system. Most of us are confused on the quantity or quality of sleep what everybody has to do. So basically, for a simple calculation, we say everybody need to sleep for at least 7 to 8 hours on everyday basis. For people, few people are okay to sleep 6 hours. Few people, they need 8 hours. So it depends from person to person on the sleep. It's not about the quantity, but the quality of the sleep matters. We need to sleep deep, in the sense we shouldn't be disturbed or we shouldn't have any kind of disturbed sleep at the night. So in case people who are facing lack of sleep or insomnia, what we call, even their immunity will be compromised. The next point is lack of exercise. Sedentary lifestyle makes the immune system sleep. Yes, exercise activates the immune system to fight the viral bacterial infections. Exercise reduces stress by increasing the production of antibodies and the white blood cells. So due to the increase in the temperature when we exercise, so it reduces the bacterial growth on the body's surface also. Hence, lack of exercise will also damage your immunity. So each and every day, as simple as a walk of 30 to 45 minutes, a brisk walk of 30 to 45 minutes is sufficient. We understand that right nowadays, due to COVID, all the gyms are closed. So we can go for a morning walk at around 7 o'clock or 7:30, so that we can also get the sunlight wherein the body will be able to produce vitamin D on itself and will not be deficient on it, as most of the lifestyle is become sedentary from the past 2 to 3 months, and we have seen lots of people coming with vitamin D deficiencies. Hence, lack of exercise also is a major factor to damage our immunity. So along with lack of exercise, we also need to understand that excess of exercise also damages our immunity. How? Let's try to understand it. Well, the body has limit. If pushed beyond its limit to function, it stops abruptly. So our immune system cannot respond well if we do more and more of exercise. So how much of exercise has to be done per day is simple. Exercise of 90 minutes is sufficient, that too if it is a high intensity exercise. More than 90 minutes of high intensity exercise makes us more susceptible to illness. And intense exercise cause temporary decrease in the immune functions. So excess of exercise is also bad to the human body. And most in case a person who does excess exercise, even they will produce more of cortisol hormone and the adrenaline hormone, which raises the blood pressure and cholesterol and suppresses the immune system. Hence, lack of exercise and excess of exercise is also not good. As I informed, 30 to 45 minutes of brisk walk with a basic stretching is currently sufficient. Next is smoking. Most of us know smoking kills us, but the first major issue or the problem, what it does is it damages the immune system. And once the immune system is compromised, it's very easy for any kind of bacteria, virus, or any pathogens to attack the human body. Well, cigarettes contain more than 250 highly harmful substances. Some of them are even poisonous. Few of them are ammonia, arsenic, nicotine. Well, smoking affects all the systems of the human body, including the immune system. So once the immune system is compromised, a person will be, or a person may fall sick very, very frequently, as the fighting ability of the human body is declined. The next point is stress and anxiety. Well, stress and anxiety is one of the major factors to bring down our immunity. Let's understand how the stress and anxiety brings down the immune system. Our body is being designed in such a beautiful way. The moment any kind of chronic stress reaches, or we face chronic stress, it may be professionally, it may be financially, or it may be in terms of family. The body's natural ability is to produce certain hormones in terms of self-defense. Well, it is called as cortisol. So a person who will be having chronic stress, their cortisol levels will be always high. And due to this high levels of cortisol, the body will not be able to function at its optimal level. Hence, stress is one of the major factors nowadays, what we too are facing with people who are even at the age of 20 and 25 facing this issue. Most of my clients come to us and inform about the stress what they are going to. So best way is to avoid stress and anxiety so that it will not damage our immune system. Well, the next is the unhealthy diet. Most of us know unhealthy diet, what kind of food we should consume, what kind of food we should avoid. But due to certain circumstances and unavoidable circumstances, we compromise on it. One of the major factors or one of the major types of unhealthy diet is the junk food. Well, the main reason to avoid junk food is as they are high in fats and they're bad for the immunity. They're so much high in the fat is the ratio is uncomparable. Usually the good fat and the bad fat what we consume should be in proportion. But nowadays, due to the foods which are available outside, there's a lot of imbalance in the good fat what we consume and the bad fat what we consume. So eating excess of fat is one of the major reasons for obesity also. Obesity affects the ability of white blood cells to multiply and produce antibodies, thus making us prone to infection. Well, let's understand what sugar and fat lead to. Well, to start with, excess consumption of sugar and salt will increase the inflammation in the body. It also brings down the controls of infections, and it increases the rate of cancer, and it increases the risk of allergic and autoimmune diseases is also considered to happen. And excess consumption of salt, especially the refined salt, which will also reduce the ability of the white blood cells to kill germs. Sugar, it also prevents vitamin C from getting into the white blood cells, resulting in the weaker immune system. And health, usually immune suppressing ability, right? So the sugar has a very effect. So what it does is it will suppress the immune system. The moment we consume high sugar based foods, within 30 minutes, the sugar starts suppressing the immune system, and which will also lead to weak immune system. And it does for many hours. So for example, if we consume any high sugary foods, so it may happen that for the next 4 to 5 hours, the immune system may be compromised. So kindly avoid excess consumption of salt and sugary based foods. Any foods in case if you wish to consume, kindly prepare them at home rather than going out and buying food packets, especially the biscuits, cookies and cakes, which nowadays come in packet form. They are very dangerous to health as they contain excess of sugar, salt and trans fats. Kindly go through the labels before buying any food products. Check the labels. If they have trans fats, sugar and salt, kindly avoid them. And be sure, because nowadays there are different names of sugars also. So they'll not mention just sugar, there'll be other forms, because there are close to 40 to 50 types of different names for sugar. So it's best to go through the content or to buy it from any organic sources, as they'll have healthy ingredients in them. So these are the major factors which damage our immunity. Now, let's try to understand what are the foods which will help us to increase our immunity. To start with, as we had seen, we had people with vegetarian sources. We also had people with non-vegetarian sources, and we also had people who belong to the Jain community. Well, we'll be sharing with them the different types of foods which can be consumed to each and every segment. To start with, we'll be focusing mainly on the vegetarian sources. So any foods which have or which are rich in vitamin C are considered to be very beneficial, as vitamin C is an antioxidant. A small example can be tried at home. Just cut an apple and keep it for 5 to 10 minutes. Hope everybody know that it turns black. The reason is because of oxidation. Well, you can try this. Just take a lemon and apply it on the half-cut apple and keep the both half-cut apple to one side and check it after 5 to 10 minutes. Well, even though after 15 or 20 minutes, the apple will be fresh and it doesn't turn black. The major reason is because vitamin C acts as an antioxidant. So vitamin C rich foods are very beneficial to the human system. As simple as citrus fruits, lemon is one of the very richest source of vitamin C, and also Indian gooseberry we call. So Indian gooseberry also rich source of vitamin C. Fruits, citrus fruits, bell peppers, broccoli and spinach. Yogurt is also considered as one of the best food, as it has prebiotics or good bacteria, which is very beneficial for our health. Vitamin E rich foods also helps us to build our immunity. Well, vitamin rich foods are nothing but seeds. Seeds such as sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds will help, or they have rich sources of vitamin E, which will also help us to boost our immunity. Almonds is also considered as one of the nuts which are rich sources of protein and vitamin E. Mushroom is also one of the foods which can be consumed to increase our immunity. people who are deficient on vitamin D can consume mushroom regularly. Garlic, onion, ginger. Yes, these are the magical spices which most of us use at home. Every day we should add these spices to our diet. We can also consume them as an early morning drink just by boiling water, a glass of water, adding garlic to it and boil it for 3 to 5 minutes, and then add half teaspoons of honey and consume. Avoid honey in case you are diabetic. Gradually, by practicing every day, our immunity or immune system will be strong and it can work in its optimal level. Turmeric, one of the spices and the oldest spices which we use in our kitchen, is also considered to improve our immunity. Well, we also know that currently, comparatively to other parts or other countries of the world, in India, even though we have a population of more than 130 crores, the number of cases what we are seeing is less comparatively. Well, one of the major reason for this is the spices what we use in our kitchen, in our day-to-day foods. So kindly avoid outside foods which are very, very less in spices and they add lot of flavor enhancing substances to make food look and also to taste good, but they are deficient on nutrients. Hence, use spices in each and every meal what you cook at home. Include it in your breakfast, lunch, and also dinner. You can also add spices to any kind of snacks what we eat. Well,
Can we do a small poll here?
yeah,
Just
doctor.
to know what people are taking in the breakfast, lunch.
Right. So we can have a small poll. So we can just try to understand what kind of foods people are currently consuming.
In breakfast and lunch and dinner.
Right.
So first I am putting the breakfast.
Huh.
Yeah. I request all to check the thing and click on that options. This is the breakfast. According to the community, just click on the options. Request everyone to fill up this. Under 20 seconds. Yeah, so I'm ending the poll. So Manjunath, so you can see the things like from Jain community breakfast, mostly roti with sabzi. Then next is green moong dal khichdi. Oats also, poha also people are taking from Jain community in the breakfast. And mostly roti with sabzi. Okay, so next is from South India. All are equal. Idli, dosa, upma, all are equally they're taking. Pongal also. Vegetable pulao, lemon rice. Puri sabzi also 42%. Okay. And from North India, you can see oats also, poha also. Both equal.
Right.
So this is the, and paratha also. Yes. So this is the breakfast from every community. You can see.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So just 1 second.
Right. So most of us are consuming healthy breakfast. What my suggestions would be to include lots of vegetables. For example, if you are consuming oats, it's really good. Add, you can also prepare oats khichdi. You can also prepare different types of oats roti. You can also prepare dosa in oats for South Indians. Idlis can also be prepared with oats. For North Indians, oats khichdi is very, very good option. And in case people who consume oats with milk, who are facing time constraint, kindly add lots of fruits to it. At least 2 to 3 different types of fruits can be added to oats with milk and then consumed. Poha also is a very good form of breakfast. My suggestions would be to add lots of greens to poha. Make sure that at least 50% of the plate is filled with vegetables along with the breakfast what we consume. Idli, one of the staple food of South India. Well, idlis can also have different varieties. We can have green gram idli, which is also a very, very good source of protein. We can have oats idli, a good source of protein and fiber. And we can also add sprouts while preparing idlis. We can just mix sprouts in the batter of idli and we can consume. Right. And roti and sabzi is one of the staple food of Jain communism, right? Doklam
And
is one of the favorites.
not also, not region also.
Not region, yes. Fine.
Fine. So this is the breakfast. So I'm stopping this one. And next will be lunch. So yeah, request everyone to click on the options. This is for the lunch for every community. Request everyone to fill up. Okay, so I am ending the poll. 1 second. Yeah, so you can see Manjunath,
Yeah.
from Jain community lunch, mostly rice, vegetable sabzi, roti, curd, dal. Yeah, so you can see the things. rice is more.
Hmm.
And in the South community, sabzi, they are taking more. Sabzi, chapati, and ragi ball also. Curd also taking more. Curd is, I think, both sides. Jain community and
And
South
yeah, South
also curd is more. Chicken and mutton as well in the South.
Hmm.
And North community, you can see rice is more. Dal, sabzi, roti also. So almost curd also everywhere. People are taking curd is maximum. Yeah.
Right, right. So seems good, but rice is one of the staple food of our country. We need to accept that. But my suggestions would be to have a variation of rice. For example, white rice, few days you can change it to brown rice. For few days you can change it to red rice. Few days, and then keep on rotating. And also do add millets to your diet, which is very very beneficial.
So anything you want to add? Anything else?
Uh,
Curd is taking daily, means most of the people are taking curd.
Right. And yeah. And whenever anybody, most of us know that curd is very good, but most of us are also unaware that we should not add salt to curd. The moment we add salt to curd, all the good bacteria are killed. So kindly avoid salt to curd. You can only add our organic salt or the Himalayan salt or black salt only while consuming. So don't add salt to the curd and keep it and then you should consume. It's not a good idea.
Fine,
So
sir.
you'll be losing all the nutrients if we add salt.
Okay, okay. So last one poll for the dinner, sir. Yeah, request everyone. This is a dinner for every community. Please select your choice. What are the dinner? Another 20 seconds. Ending the poll. Okay. So you can see, Manju sir, the dinner.
Yeah. So roti sabzi is the most considered food among the Jain community, especially for dinners. And for South Indians, it is chapati, sabzi, rice, sambar, and non-veg. Okay. And for North Indians, it is vegetable stuffed roti, sabzis, and non-veg. Fine.
Almost same.
Yeah, almost same.
I
So
think.
here my suggestions would be to include lot of fiber-rich foods, especially for dinners. Most of us are consuming roti, which is a good sign. But make sure that the flour, wheat flour, what you consume has lots of fiber in it. So it's a good practice to buy any kind of wheat flour from organic stores, or you can take wheat and get it grinded from any of the shops. So that would be the best option, as most of the uh, wheat flours what we get in the market, they are refined in nature and all the fiber content are removed. So hence, even though you make chapatis or rotis in the morning, you keep it till evening, they are soft, but it shouldn't happen. Any roti or chapati you prepare post 1 hour, they should become hard. The reason why it becomes hard is because of its fiber content. So in case if any rotis you prepare, if they are soft for a long time, it's considered as they are less in fiber. For example, maida is completely refined wheat flour. So even though you prepare maida rotis in the morning and you consume at night, they are soft. So my suggestions would be to buy any wheat flour in organic shops, any of the organic shops which is nearby you, near to your home, or take a wheat and grind it. It's the best option.
Okay, thank you, sir. So we'll go to your slides, sir. I'm
Right.
sure. One second. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. So moving ahead. Right. So non-vegetarian, let us consider, or people who consume non-vegetarians, especially the lean red meat or pork, right? So what does this contain? This non-vegetarian foods contain lots of proteins in it, and they also contain vitamin B12, zinc, iron, and selenium. So these are the major nutrients what we can get from the non-veg consumption. Pork, lamb is also considered as red meat. They have lots of vitamin B12 in them. So consumption of red meat at regular intervals, not every day, probably weekly once or twice is sufficient to consume. Seafoods such as shellfish, oysters, prawns, and fish are also very, very nutrient dense. Shellfish, oysters, prawns, they contain zinc and vitamin A. These vitamins and minerals in oysters are critical for proper functioning of our immune system. Hence, regular consumption of seafoods is also beneficial for our health. Right. Coming on to the foods which most of our Jain people consume are lentils and legumes. Well, lentils and legumes are very good sources of protein again. Why protein? Because each and every cell in the human body is made up of protein. It's just protein and water that each and every cell is made. So consumption of protein rich foods is very, very important to have healthy cells. So once healthy cells are born, we also are healthy. And nuts is very, very rich sources of vitamins. For example, vitamin E is very, very rich in nuts. It can be almond, cashew, dates, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, any types or different types of nuts are available. We need to make a routine of consuming at least one fistful of nuts every day. So it can be during the mid mornings or mid evenings. So regular consumption of nuts is also very, very beneficial to the human body, which also gives the basic nutrients which are required for the immune system. Dairy products are also very, very important, such as milk, paneer, and cheese. These also help the immune systems to work at an optimal level, as milk and paneer is a very good source of protein, and cheese is also a very good source of other nutrients. Right. So few points which we can consider by following it every day at our home, which will also increase our immunity. Well, these are the recipes which can be prepared by anyone at home. It's as simple to be followed and can be followed every day. Just boil a glass of water and add grated ginger to it. Let it boil for some few minutes. While consuming, you can add lemon and honey. The second option is a pinch of turmeric can be added to a glass of warm milk every day before going to bed. You can also add pepper to it. And a glass of warm milk with a pinch of organic turmeric powder is also very, very beneficial. And amla juice. The Indian gooseberry is considered as very, very rich source of vitamin C. And vitamin C is responsible to increase the immunity, as it has antioxidant properties. Now, let's understand how can we improve our immune system. Well, immunity can be improved by following these steps regularly, consistently. So the first step is to have diet which is high in fruits and vegetables. Make sure that you consume at least 2 to 3 different types of fruits of different colors every day. And going with seasonal fruits is very, very beneficial. Keep a radius of 150 kilometers to the place where you are staying and consume the fruits which are available there. So by this, you can gradually increase your immunity. Exercise. Exercise plays a very, very important role to increase our immunity. Exercise also produces certain hormones, which are dopamine hormone, which is also called as happy hormone. So people who regularly exercise will also have a very strong immune system as their absorption rates will also be very good. So any food which they consume, the body will be able to absorb all the nutrients of the food. Hence, regular exercise is very, very important. Due to constraint of time, we can understand people early mornings are not able to exercise. My suggestions for them would be to go for an evening walk or exercise evenings also regularly without fail. Most of us are confused whether how much of exercise or how many days in a week we need to exercise. Well, my suggestions, in case if you are working out regularly, as simple as walking and jogging, you can go for 7 days a week. In case your exercise is high intensity, then 5 to 6 days is also okay. So kindly regularly exercise and keep yourself fit, and also your immune system will be functioning at its optimal level. Maintaining a healthy weight is also very, very important, as health can be, or excess of weight can also cause a lot of complications. According to a survey done, close to 60% of Indian population are entering the obese category, which is not at all a good sign. Children close to 8 years, 10 years, 12 years of age are
Yes.
gaining weight, which
Yes,
is
like-
not a,
Your slide is not moving, I think.
okay. Yeah, so maintaining a healthy weight is the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maintaining healthy weight. So children are also nowadays consuming a lot of junk foods, due to which their weights are steadily increasing, which is not at all a good sign. So kindly, maintenance of healthy weight is very, very good to have a good immune system. Adequate sleep. Well, sleep is an important aspect of human body. Human body is aligned with nature. Hence, we sleep at night and wake up early in the morning. But due to lifestyle changes, sleep time has been compromised. The body repairs itself once we start to sleep. And the time, most of us know that we need to sleep, but the actual time at what we need to sleep is 10 to 10:30 p.m. The moment 12 o'clock at the midnight, the body's ability to repair itself is at its maximum. So morning 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. is the time when the body repairs itself naturally. So in case people who are not sleeping at that time are compromising their health and are also losing their immunity. So kindly sleep at the right time and maintain your sleep time every day. Going to sleep by 10:30 is the right time, and waking up at 6 o'clock or 5:30 is also a very good time. Make sure that you have a good sleep and help your body to repair itself naturally. Next is manage stress. Stress is one of the major factors nowadays. Even small children at the age of 15, small children 10 years, 15 years, 20 years are also facing the stress challenge due to the academic or their education. And especially people of the age of 25 to 30 years who also work are going through a lot of stress. Stress and sleep inadequately hampers the human body's function. Where we also visit a lot of corporates, and we see that people are currently working nowadays in night shift. So proper sleep is also not happening, and the stress levels are too high, due to which their immune system is compromised, and the first challenge what they face is weight gain. Hence, it is very, very important to manage stress and sleep at the right time. The moment body goes through chronic stress, it produces certain hormones in order to protect itself. But chronic stress is the major factor to suppress the immune system. So stress is also a very, very important factor. So stress should be maintained. One of the simplest form is to meditate every day, 15 to 20 minutes in the morning and 15 to 20 minutes in the evening to manage stress. Well, the exact time to meditate depends on the age. So whatever your age is, for example, if your age is 20 years, so 20 minutes of meditation helps a lot. If your age is 50 years, 50 minutes of meditation can be done. So 25 minutes in the morning, 25 minutes in the evening is what it is required. So meditation helps to bring down stress, due to which it also enhances the immune system. And maintaining a good hygiene is one of the major factors to improve the immune system. How? We need to keep ourselves clean, and also the surrounding at our home and at our office keep clean. Good hygiene avoids different types of bacteria, fungal and viral infections to happen. So once we keep ourselves hygiene, so the immune system will be working at its best level. Well, why is building an immunity, especially during the corona, is important? Let's try to understand. Well, most of us know currently there is no vaccination or any kind of medication for coronavirus. Hence, the best way is to avoid. Prevention is better than cure. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we keep ourselves away from this virus. How? So what are the factors which can be considered, or what are the factors for building immunity is important is the growing risk of infections. Nowadays, we see even small children are falling sick at a very young age and with different issues. So avoiding infection is also one of the major important factor. And irregular exercise routines. As I said, exercising in morning is considered as the best. Due to time constraint, exercise can also be done in the evenings. But most of the people are so much involved in their professional life that they don't exercise at all. So kindly, my suggestions would be for everybody to exercise every day and make it a routine. And due to high levels of stress also, the immunity is compromised. Stress plays very, very important aspect. So kindly avoid stress and make sure that your immunity is working well. Inactivity due to staying indoors is one of the major factors. We also have faced the same issue wherein the last 60 days we were not able to go out due to the lockdown. But we made sure that exercising is also very important, and we were also doing our everyday exercise at home itself. The last point, limited access to variety of fruits and vegetables. During the lockdown, most of us were facing the same issue that we are not able to find different types of fruits and vegetables. Hence, building immunity is very, very important to make sure that the immunity level performs well. Now, let's consider or let's understand what are the supplements which are available and which will also help us to boost our immunity. Well, to start with, protein is considered as the basic or vital nutrient which the body needs. So what does the protein do? Let's understand. Well, protein fights viral and bacterial infections, and the amino acids from the amino acid forms the body's cells, including the cells that power the immune system. As I informed, body is made up of different organs, tissues, and molecules, and also cells. Hence, protein is the major nutrient which helps the body to produce new and healthy cells. So consumption of protein is very, very important. So, and one of the major aspect is body does not store protein. Hence, we need to consume it every day. Most of us know the consumption of protein is good, but many of us are unaware how much to consume. Well, it's a simple calculation which I'll be sharing with you. We calculate the consumption of protein in terms of weight. So, for example, if you are 50 kilos, 0.8 to 1 gram per body kilo weight of protein is required. So, example, if I say 1 gram of protein per body kilo weight, and if your weight is 50 kilos, you need to consume 50 grams of protein every day. So it can be consumed in morning breakfast, lunch, afternoon, and also during the evening for dinner. So hence, if a person is weighing close to 80 or 90 kilos, they should consume 80 to 90 grams of protein every day. And not only the consumption is important, what really matters is we need to make sure that what we eat, the body is able to absorb. So 50 grams consumption of protein is important, and we need to make sure that the body is able to absorb the 50 grams completely. Well, the next supplement which will help to boost immunity is called as Echinacea. Well, Echinacea is a herb which is from or which is cultivated in the region of America. How we have Tulsi in our country, Echinacea is the same herb which performs but majorly available in the American region. Well, what it does, it is also known to improve the immune health and the body's natural resistance. It also helps for our healthy cells to be grown. And one of the major factor, what it does, it reduces the inflammation which happens due to infection or any kind of diseases. Yeah. So Echinacea also the Echinacea also helps to build the WBC, that is white blood cells, to perform well, and it also helps to produce more and more WBC. Coming on to the next supplement, vitamin C. Most of us know vitamin C is a very, very important nutrient. So what it does is it supports the immunity and it acts as a great antioxidant. Well, it is also very, very important for this nutrient for building of collagens, and it neutralizes free radicals. Body does not prepare vitamin C, nor does it store. Hence, regular consumption on every day is very, very important to maintain vitamin C levels in the body. Well, vitamin C is also known as water soluble, which can be or which will be present in the body for 5 to 6 hours. Hence, consumption of citrus rich foods every 6 to 7 hours is how vitamin C can be maintained in our body. And body cannot store or make vitamin C. Hence, it is very, very important for us to make sure that we consume regularly vitamin C rich fruits. So the next supplement is garlic. Yes, garlic also helps to boost immunity. This is one of the major spices which is available at our home. So what does garlic do? Well, garlic has an active ingredient called allicin. It is one of the major ingredients which helps to boost immunity. So garlic also helps to boost the white blood cells, which will fight out the infections. Allicin also boosts the disease fighting response of some types of white blood cells in the body. Allicin or garlic is also considered very, very important, as it also reduces cholesterol, that too the bad cholesterol. Hence, we have seen positive results with people who are having high cholesterols. They consume garlic over a period of time, their cholesterol levels naturally come down. So consumption of garlic every day is very, very important. Hence, add garlic to your diet. In case, if not possible, kindly go ahead with any good branded supplements which are available, which will also help, as the garlic's power to work the moment it enters the body is very, very limited. As this allicin, the major ingredient, it should be released in the small intestine for a good result. Well, the next supplement is ashwagandha. Most of us know or have heard about this wonderful herb, ashwagandha. Well, ashwagandha basically is a small herb, but the active ingredient or the active part is the root. Yes, the root is very, very important of the ashwagandha herb. So what it does, the ashwagandha herb increases the body's white blood cells, and thus more and more white blood cells are produced. The body's natural ability to fight infection pathogens is increased. And ashwagandha can also be consumed with people who are having stress and anxiety. Yes, people who are going under or going through a lot of stress can consume ashwagandha regularly, due to which the stress hormones is minimized and your immune system is also working at a optimal level. Ashwagandha also increases the red blood count. Hence, adding ashwagandha every day to your diet is also a very, very good. The next supplement to add or to consider is tulsi. Everybody knows tulsi. It is the most homes nowadays or even before used to have tulsi plant in front of our house. The major or the important aspect of tulsi is it has potent adaptogen. Well, what does adaptogen do? For example, if we are settling in any kind of location, the climatic conditions of Bangalore is different and the climatic condition of Mumbai may be different. So a person who travels from place to place, his immune. So what the body does is, so the body gets adapted to the natural environment. That is how the tulsi boosts the immunity. And tulsi also has lots of antioxidant effects, so which will avoid free radical damage to the cells. Well, does anybody here take supplements? Can we have a small poll and try to understand whether anybody are taking any kind of supplement right now?
Yeah, please comment in the chat box, yes or no.
Calcium tablet, okay. Calcium tablet can be taken, but calcium tablet will not help you to increase your immunity. But yes, calcium is required. People can continue with calcium supplementation. Lemon is good. Tail pepper, somebody is asking tail pepper. Please add tail pepper to your diet.
Someone is taking Punarnava.
Punarnava, okay. Punarnava is also a good supplement to take, but I need to check the ingredient. Honey is also okay, but honey will not, just consumption of honey is okay, but you can add lemon to honey and consume it every day. Vitamin C, yes, somebody is taking vitamin C, very good. Triphala, Triphala aids in digestion. Basically, Triphala is helpful for people who want to lose weight, who also are facing constipation issues, or it can also be taken by healthy individual. So it will enhance the digestive system. So Triphala can also be considered or taken regularly. Tulsi and ginger, very good. Fine. Okay.
Someone is giving to the baby tulsi drops.
Giving my baby tulsi drops with honey. Kindly continue, madam. You can give tulsi drops to the baby. How old is the kid?
Please, you can write in the chat option.
2 years. Well, you can give. Yeah, you can give tulsi drops with honey. How many drops can be added in 1 liter of water? Tulsi, is it tulsi drops?
That things you will do in the Q&A session, sir.
Right, right. So,
So,
probably
yeah. So all the participants, please wait for the Q&A sessions. You can ask yourself to Manjunath sir one by one, so that you can ask, you can clear your doubts and all. So right now it's not the right time to ask. Yes, sir. Please continue your.
sure. So let's go ahead. Somebody are also asking about tail pepper. Tail pepper can be consumed regularly. Kindly add it to the food, whatever you prepare. It can be consumed regularly. Tail pepper is good. Right. So let's go ahead. Yeah. So currently, what are the general safety measures that we need to follow, especially during the COVID? Well, most of us know that we need to wash hands frequently for 20 seconds. Well, people who travel a lot, kindly keep sanitizers with you. Sanitizers which also have alcohol present in them, right? And washing hands regularly is very, very beneficial. Soap or hand wash is good to start with. And don't touch your face often and frequently. One of the very, very important aspect. There was a survey done a few days back, and it has come to the notice that humans knowingly or unknowingly touch their faces 23 times in 1 hour. So, which is not a good sign, especially during the COVID time. So don't keep on touching your face. Kindly avoid it. And wearing mask while going out. Mask nowadays, most of the masks you can also use, which can be prepared at home itself. A simple cloth mask can also be used to cover our face. In case people who are available, who are affordable, they can buy the N95 mask, which is a very, very good mask, which is considered, which will avoid the coronavirus from spreading. And make sure anybody who are having elderly people or children's kids at home, if they're traveling, they are wearing mask without fail. And using sanitizers also help to avoid virus spread of the virus. And any sanitizers should have alcohol in them. Make sure that they have, and regularly you can keep using sanitizers. Most of us are confused, and most people use sanitizers like 15 minutes, 20 minutes each, 15 to 20 minutes. Be very, very careful, as excess usage of sanitization is also harmful to the skin. Well, now I would like to take any questions. Any questions anybody are having? They can type it in the chat box.
Or else, 1 second, sir. Yeah, Manjunath sir, please unmute. Yeah. So please, one by one, unmute yourself and ask your question one by one.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you hear me, sir?
You just go little beyond. Voice is breaking actually.
Hello. Yeah, is it okay?
It's not audible.
Hello.
You put your phone little backside, or I think it's very near to your mouth.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, for diabetic patient, they are not supposed to take sugar, right?
Yes.
Then nowadays, like the brown sugar, country sugar, how it is beneficial for the diabetic patients, whether they can take it or not.
Okay. So the diabetic patient, who is the patient, ma'am? Who is the person at home?
Actually, my mom.
Okay. See, the reason why we need to understand why sugar is not allowed or considered to be taken for diabetic is, especially in the food what we are currently consuming, they are already consuming excess of sugar. So kindly avoid any form of sugar. It can be brown sugar or white sugar. It's not required.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So kindly avoid sugar for diabetic people because it will increase the glucose level, which will also increase their blood sugar levels.
Okay, sir. Then I am 21 years old, sir.
Ah,
During rainy season, I am getting frequent colds, especially after a shower, or else I am going out in early morning by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock.
uh-huh.
So I am getting frequent colds. What would be the reason? If my immune system is weak?
Right. So it's basically because of the immune system. So what can be done to you, especially is we can have an on-call because I also need to understand what is your lifestyle, at what time you wake up, at what time you sleep, what are the kinds of foods you are currently consuming, how is your lifestyle, whether you are able to exercise or not. So all these I need to know based on which I can guide you properly. Well, to give you a simple answer, if you are facing these issues of cold and cough frequently, yes, your immunity is low.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah. So next, one question is coming. Which Tulsi supplement is good?
Okay. Fine. There are a couple of brands which are available. So what really matters is going with the brand because if you just type Tulsi supplement in Google, you get 100 brands. But what? Yeah. So, but in Tulsi, the active ingredient is only available in the leaf, which is very, very important to consider. The whole Tulsi plant is not beneficial. And there are close to 60 to 65 types of Tulsis which are available in the market. So we need to be sure that the Tulsi supplement which we consider has the active ingredient in it and it also has the right nutrient which will support us. Well, to go ahead, probably you can try it on any organic websites or any organic stores which is also available. You get good quality or good quality Tulsi with them. So that can be considered. Or probably Neutralite brands can also be taken, which is also in terms of quality wise, they are also very good.
Yeah. So next question. Anyone? Please unmute and.
Uh, how many drops of tulsi should be taken in a 1 liter of water, sir? Means
Okay.
I have taken the pancha tulsi, but not knowing how many drops to be added in a 1 liter. So even for the kids or for any elderly, anyone.
Okay. Ma'am, first I need to understand the tulsi which you have bought for in the sense to consume for, is it for the kid or you or for what condition?
Not for any condition, just it's like an right now they wanted to means increase the immunity. So
Right.
just I got the drops. I heard from someone that pancha tulsi the drops is good. I just got it, but not knowing how many drops to be added in 1 liter water because I have a small kids, 8 years and 6 years. So if they are also having also the same water, how much should be added?
Okay. To start with, what my suggestions would be in terms of glass, if you take a small glass of around 100 or 150 ml glass, you can add close to 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of tulsi drops to it.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay. Okay, sir. And sir, what about that you have telling about the paneer and cheese? Can the people with who are there in the borderline cholesterol, can they consume that? Not regularly, on one in a 15 days, once in a 15 days or 10 days. Can they consume?
Not only 15 days, but they can consume every week. Paneer is a very good source of fat. It is good fat. It is not bad fat.
Okay. So no problem, no harm in taking that.
They can regularly continue. In case they are having cholesterol, kindly check their vitamin D levels. It will be less.
Yeah. So myself has been means recently I got the blood test done where I'm in hypothyroidism since many years on the medication. But recently that cholesterol levels are being slightly in a fluctuated change. Means where about is coming into the borderline. So just wanted to know whether I can consume it or not. So that's why I have asked you this.
Fine, fine. You can consume. So cholesterol, see, the reason why cholesterol increases in the body, there are multiple factors. As I said, one of the main reasons is the trans fat or the oil also what you use. So,
Okay.
and as I
I'm
said,
using
kindly
the rice bran oil, sir. Is it okay with the rice bran oil?
rice bran is okay, but keep varying it. Keep varying the oils and kindly buy oils in any of the organic shops rather than supermarkets.
Yeah. So next question. So anyone, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. It's me, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Actually, my mom is asthma patient. For her immunity, what can I do for her? For
Okay.
asthma patient.
So it's Rajesh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rajesh, see, for asthmatic people, one of the major reasons is because of their immunity levels itself. So what can be done to mom is she can, see, as is informed, there are a couple of supplementations which can be considered. She can take it as a course for 2 to 3 months for a minimum time duration, and wherein she'll be able to see a very good results. That is for
Actually, one thing. Actually, she's under medication for last 5 to 6 years. She's under medication, but I feel that she's using many medicines. I don't like that because it will spoil her health. I personally feel that. So, is in Ayurvedic or in any way is it good for taking this type of immunity power?
Okay. See, any kind of medication for a long time will affect the body. So what we suggest or what we recommend is not medications. We suggest only supplementation. So what supplementation does, it will improve your body's natural ability or natural fighting ability. It will enhance your natural body's fighting ability so that any issues comes up, your body will be able to perform in its normal or active levels.
Okay. What type of supplement can I give to my mom?
Sorry?
What type of supplement can I give to my mom?
Supplement what can be given.
I mean,
Your,
what type of
your voice is breaking, Rajesh.
No, no.
Yeah.
What supplements he can give it to his mother, like for asthma?
What supplement for asthma? Okay, you can add this tulsi, you can add echinacea, and you also get this other supplementation like vasaka, you can add them. That will help her a lot with proteins especially.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So anyone else has doubt? Any queries?
Yes,
Yeah, please ask.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it is said that in arthritis or in any other joint inflammation, some foods are to be avoided like watermelon or the lemon juices or other any citrus foods. So it is right or wrong? I want to ask that.
Okay, see what kind of arthritis? Is it like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis?
Osteoarthritis.
Okay. See, osteoarthritis basically happens because of the inflammation in the bone joints and also basically because of the nutrient deficiency. And
Okay.
this long-term nutrient deficiency will trigger, what we call as degeneration. And because of the degeneration, this diseases come up. So my suggestions for you would be to contact me. I think my number is mentioned there. You can please speak to me once, wherein I can be able to help you with it. Because suggesting you a right supplementation would be very, very beneficial. Because I also need to understand the, the background of the case. So what was it, from when they are suffering, or what are the major reasons, or what is their lifestyle? So
Okay.
all this is very, very important.
So
Okay, sir. And my other question is the a 20-year-old girl whose weight is so less, like it is the 39 kgs, and she's suffering from the constipation. So what type of diet?
Okay. See, basically, if anybody is suffering from constipation, the two main factors, especially considering the age criteria, what has to be done is consumption of water. Kindly check the consumption of water, how much they are consuming, and very, very important is fiber. So consumption of fiber will be less, water will be less, and also check sugar. In case if they are consuming sugar more, they will be facing constipation issues.
Sir, just a minute. I lost the network issue. Can you repeat again?
Yeah, so you can add fiber in your food actually. So we have to go to the next question. Like one question coming like for uric acid, if someone has a uric acid is more, so doctor advised to cut down the protein part, right? Protein part has to avoid. So
Right.
in that
Yes.
case, as you told, for immune system boosting, protein is very, very important. So in that case, how like what kind
Yes,
of supplement you can apart from that protein, whatever they cut the protein, how can I fill up the gap? Or you should not take the protein if whoever has the uric acid issue, or like how it is.
Right. See, a very, very good question, especially with people who are facing uric acid issues. Uric acid, yes. So see, first we need to understand why there is a high level of uric acid, and basically it happens because of the acidity levels. So in case your body is not alkaline or the pH value is not so good, acidity in the blood increases and also causes uric acid. Yes, protein should be minimized, but the protein what you basically consume in food should not be minimized. So you can consume dal, you can consume sprouts. So in case if anybody is taking supplementation, that should be kindly avoided for uric acid patients. Normal in the food you can consume what you are currently consuming. For example, people they consume 3 to 4 eggs every day, or people also consume regularly paneer, 100 grams of paneer every day. People also consume soya chunks 100 grams every day. The consumption of protein rich food should be brought down. If they're normal, if they're using dal, chawal, roti, legumes, lentils, they can consume, nothing to worry.
Right. Okay, so another 5 minutes, we'll take the questions. Yeah, anyone has questions, please ask. Just unmute yourself and ask your questions. So one question comes, how can we boost immunity for the alopecia areata case?
Non-veg, can I take non-veg for uric acid problem?
Ma'am, non-veg for few days kindly avoid because the way you cook is also very, very important. So you should not deep oil fry whenever non-veg you consume, you should not be deep oil fried. You can only prepare it as a curry and consume.
Yeah, curry only.
Yeah.
So prawns, can I eat prawns?
Very, very minimal. Or my suggestion would be, especially in case if your uric acid is more, avoid non-veg for at least 1 month, that is 30 to 45 days, unless your uric acid comes down, and then you can continue.
Then I can continue. Okay.
Then you can continue. Kindly avoid. Avoiding is best.
So afterwards, can I consume?
Yeah. Once your uric acid comes down, or if it reaches the normal level, you can start consuming non-veg.
Afterwards also, if I eat non-veg, then it will grow, no? It will more. It will become.
That is the changes which should be incorporated in your lifestyle. There are certain changes for uric acid people which should be followed on regular basis, or else if you are following the same lifestyle, yes, it will get triggered again.
Okay.
So you should maintain your pH levels. So consumption of fruits and vegetables is very, very important. So your pH level should always be low. The acidity level of the blood should be always low. You will not face issues if your acidity level in the blood is low.
Can I drink this white vinegar cider, apple cider? What is
Yeah, apple cider vinegar can be consumed for us, uric acid. It will help you a lot.
Yes, that is what.
Yes, you can consume.
I can. Okay.
But kindly buy it from an organic shop, not from any supermarket.
Okay.
Kindly buy these organic from an organic shop.
And one more thing, if I want to reduce uric acid levels, what I have to eat? Which food I have to eat?
Well, ma'am, for that I would like to inform you that you'll have to contact me personally. because I
Okay.
need to know currently what you're consuming, whether what you're consuming is right or wrong. In case if I find that what you're consuming is not good or not right for your body composition, I'll have to completely stop it.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next question is how can we boost our immunity for an alopecia areata case? Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Especially to boost. Yeah.
yeah, please.
Okay. So as I said, from case to case, it varies. So I need to speak to the parent. What are the major issues along with that, what they are facing? So, and also age matters a lot. What is the current age of the kid, whether it's 5-year-old kid, 10 year, 12 years, 8 years. So without knowing, I cannot give them a generalized instruction, which may sometimes get results, which may sometimes not get results at all. So I need the complete briefing and then suggest them the right supplementation if in case, or if not, if it is possible to change it with their lifestyle, we can also do that.
Next question is how about iodized salt? Can we add it to the curd instead of the normal salt?
See, iodized salt is nothing but the white salt what we get, and the white salt is the refined salt. So kindly avoid adding refined salt or the white salt which we get to the curd. So how to consume? Simple. When you are eating curd, for example, if you are mixing it with the rice which you are consuming, while consuming you can add organic, that is Himalayan salt or senda namak, what we call. So that salt can be added and immediately consumed.
Okay, so next question is can aloe vera juice be used for immunity purpose? If yes, then what is the required quantity? Aloe vera juice.
See, benefits of aloe vera is multiple. Aloe vera is beneficial for people with acidity. Aloe vera is also very good for skin. But in terms of immunity, aloe vera is not in the sense so much helpful to boost immunity. But yes, aloe vera has multiple benefits. It can be taken. How much quantity to take, it depends on the brand, because certain brands give you concentrated form, certain brands give you diluted form. So we need to check on the content part. So normally if it is a concentrated one, then you can take 20 to 25 ml per glass. So if you're taking a glass of around 150 ml, then you can consume 20-25 or up to 30 ml of concentrated aloe vera juice with water. If it is diluted, then you have to consume more.
Okay, so next question is if someone want to reduce the weight, so they will take some weight management like Herbalife. It is very famous in the market, Herbalife. But after using the Herbalife or something, any kind of brand, what you say, sir, as an expert, like the immunity level will go down for this kind of products, or it will be like a very nice, or it will be like a stable, or you want to add something, some your input?
Yeah. See, what I would like to inform everybody here is, I'm not trying to put any brands down, but there is a science behind each and every brand. Yes, I have my own clients who are continuously or regularly using Herbalife kinds and they're getting good results. There are people who used it and they're not satisfied, they have left. And there are few people who used it, got very good results, and after leaving it for around 6 to 8 months, they have gained back all the weight. So what we need to understand from our end is, first we need to understand whether any kind of deficiency is present or not. If you're not able to diagnose properly, so whatever you take will be temporary. And our body is designed in such a way to have food. So any kinds of protein shakes is okay, but with food. So it's a simple concept. The moment you take any kind of shakes, so sometimes they also call it meal replacement. In the sense you should avoid meal, one-time meal or two-time meal, and then take these shakes. So what it does, yes, it gives you very good results because you're cutting down so much of calories, right? And you're only giving yourself the basic nutrients. So you get good results. The moment you are out of it, you start consuming the normal food, wherein again so much of calories is added to your body. And of course, the weight, whatever you have lost, you will gain back. So what I suggest is kindly take it with the food what you consume and make sure that you're not having any kind of deficiencies. If you're having any kind of deficiencies and you take any kind of protein shakes, the results are temporary.
Fine.
I
So,
also suggest couple of protein shakes, but I make sure that they consume food and then they take the shake, and majorly focusing on deficiencies. We give them the weight loss diet part also. So taking it is not bad, but make sure that they're not having any kind of other health complications.
okay, fine. So anyone else? Last questions we are taking last. Anyone? Please unmute. Please
You
unmute
can
yours.
ask verbally also. You can unmute
Yeah.
yourself and ask verbally.
Yeah. Or else we can conclude the sessions, and just one take home message to all, Manjunath sir, like for the immunity, like what you can say for a like a take home message to all, like what they
Okay.
can do.
See, well, especially at this point of time, when people or most of us know that we are going through a very tough time, COVID and coronavirus situation, till especially now, still there is no vaccination which has been found out, and there is no medication for it. So the best thing is to avoid. As I said, precaution is very, very important. Kindly wear mask wherever you are going, and take care of yourself, eat healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, kindly avoid junk foods, sugar, salt, avoid any kind of white foods, white sources such as sugar, salt, and refined flours, very, very important, as they will bring down the immunity levels. And exercise, sleep is very, very important. Kindly follow all the basic lifestyle parameters so you can stay healthy and your body's natural immune system will work very, very well.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, Manjunath sir. So this is, everyone can note down his number. If anyone has directly, you can contact him. You can see in the slide, Manjunath KM. His number is written.
Kindly note down his contact detail.
And you can make a screenshot also.
Sir has detailed properly this everything. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir, for such an informative as well as the enlightening session. It was
if better if you can remove your mask.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, much.
So Manjunath sir, thanks a lot for coming, at least accepting our invitation. So definitely, we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much for bright presentation and brilliant interaction. And I would like to thank all the participants also, whoever has joined today, even on the busy Sunday, I could tell.
So please, we'll send it, you'll
As
get
I
a
was telling
feedback.
about that we will be having
Just,
feedback link will be shared soon by CEO sir. Please fill up, because our team works very hard on the ground to get the best of instructor and speaker for you. And I was telling about this depression part, like that webinar over the depression management, how to deal with the depression. That will be coming on 12th of July. That is one of the free webinar we are going to do. And from all the platform, we are supposed to get more than 500 participants. So that is how such big is going to happen. And then I invite now and only this Manjunath sir also to
and all the participants.
Yeah, and all the participants also. So it was a wonderful session. Thank you so much, everyone.